Family Leonardo, me Nasiladi on Multimedia, the CEO, Voice of Salon. Today I come for talk to now, my family, make una continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel and share to our friends them. As we always try to bring for the latest news what they happen around Salon, whether it be politics or any other news them, what they happen or gossip, what they bring out to una live and direct. So please, my family, don't forget to subscribe and share to our friends them. You wanna touch the bell icon so that you don't miss any video we will try for bring out to una. So that's also we want make una don't forget also for subscribe to we TikTok channel on TikTok and also on Facebook or Facebook page or the Voice of Salon or also the on Instagram Voice of Salon, please family. And don't forget to share. Okay, thank you now. Tata.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, comrades all both home and the diaspora. This is the golden voice of the APC Encyclopedia, the Britannica, the socio-political analyst, the voice of the voiceless, the whistleblower, the lion of the social media, the regional publicity secretary, Southern Region, under the ticket of the mighty, indomitable All People's Congress Party. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, fellow listeners, comrades, all both home and the diaspora, as you know, say the encyclopedia media always embark on civic education for continue for educate, inform, sensitize, conscientize, and raise awareness to we people in Mama Salon on daily happenings and on burning issues. So when I stay fixed, when I stay tuned, when I stay blessed, when I stay connected to the encyclopedia media, for una listening pleasure is absolutely guaranteed. Fellow Sierra Leonean ladies and gentlemen, thank God today, na Saturday, the 21st of June, 2025. My brothers say 21, na gun salute. So now stay tuned to the APC Encyclopedia Media for the latest. We audio title today, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about day before yesterday was Paupa Bio and the REF rebel commander Corporal Fode Sebana Sanko. Yesterday again was Paupa Bio and the MPRC 1, MPRC 2 and the Bintimani Conference 1 and 2. Today again Paupa Bio and ECSL Agampi Mohamed Umamui Kone. This is not the way how a single individual destroys Sierra Leone day before yesterday, yesterday and today by the name of Julius Maada Woni Bio, the Paupa Southeast Mende Shabru warlord. As we all can recall, when we get 11 years brutal, bloody, deadly, nasty, disastrous and devastating rebel war in the Republic of Sierra Leone, where we all know say that word in a SLPP Kawita, when a SLPP Dr. Ali Kaba and Corporal Fode Sebana Sanko. Ali Kaba bendena Mataba Hotel na Libya with Charles Dagbana Gange Taylor and Kukuja Samba Sanye, where Corporal Fode Sebana Sanko bendena the training camp na Libya for with 11 years brutal rebel war in the Republic of Sierra Leone. And Corporal Fode Sebana Sanko in real name na Alfred Barnett, only for bring the SLPP political party into power. Sadly for we Sierra Leoneans, the SLP Southeast stronghold na the first gunfire na Bomaru village when na Upper Bambara Chiefdom Kailaun district eastern Sierra Leone on the 23rd March 1991. We all know how SLP Alagbade, alleged them, big one, the elders then contribute them girl picking and then boy picking to the RUF, Corporal Fode Sebana Sanko, for let them train them, they recruit them. Now the RUF, only for fight and remove the All People's Congress Party or the APC or more led government from power. Paupa Bio get a military ticket from the All People's Congress Party through the APC Momo-led government as a cadet officer through their Southeast sister, who be married to President Momo as First Lady, Wena Hana Momo. So they use the influence of their sister Wena Hana Momo for joining the military force. The likes of MAADA Bio, the likes of Lieutenant Sir Sandy, the likes of Tom Yoma, Solomon Anthony James Musa, we get Captain Komba Monde, Captain Komba Kambo, then are the same people they again, where the APC Momo-led government trained as cadet officer, now the military of Sierra Leone, now the same people they turn back and overthrow the Momo-led APC government. From the Ndaru barracks, then come for ration with the Tiger Battalion. The elder sister of MAADA Bio, when I be a primary teacher in Apujon district, when I imen Paupa Bio from Bo Government School, te Igomita back na Pujon, when I Agnes Bio, then Gia as a wife to the RUF rebel commander, when I Corporal Sebana Sanko. So Bio na be bralo to the RUF commander, when I Corporal Fodi Sebana Sanko. Bio know about the war. He know everything about the war, and the reason that way be refused for going at the war front. We take pistol a fire in foot for let not confront the rebels then. We eventually take a pistol and fire in foot. The SLPP, ladies and gentlemen, they become suspicious of the umbrella when a corporal for the Sebana Sanko say he want divert the mission. This now resulted to the creation of the Kamajo to be headed by Chief Captain Sam Inganoma. We now understand Chief Sam Inganoma in 1967. Now the mandis we Brigadier Lansana sent for go overthrow Sheikh Stephen, for go put the under house arrest with the Governor General after APC don't win the 1967 general election. Then can they overthrow the All People's Congress Party in 1967 election? When the first coup d'etat in the political history of Sierra Leone, masterminded by SLP Sir Albert Magai in the political history of Mama Salone. Ladies and gentlemen, the SLP then now they orchestrate the 1967 coup d'etat and declare a martial law. So SLP then use Plan B. Ladies and gentlemen, for let them forget about the RUF and use the young picking them from the southeast for overthrow the APC. There came the 29th April 1992 MPRC coup. We BC after they don't do the overthrow down, then call Captain Valentine S.A. Gravo Melvin Strasser for become the chairman and the head of state under the MPRC rule. Ladies and gentlemen, we then have been the Secretary of State under the MPRC1 rule. Now the office of the President State House, Tower Hill, and the Republic of Sierra Leone, now being John Oponjo Benjamin. And John Oponjo Benjamin, we all know, say, in the political history of Sierra Leone, he rose to the rank of the national chairman for the Sierra Leone People's Party. Ladies and gentlemen, why Biona Ina been the Foreign Affairs Liaison Officer and head of the MPRC Supreme Council and head of execution. We ordered the execution of the former Inspector General of Police, when James Babe Kamara, Salami Koka, Kauta Dumbuya, Sergeant Mohamed Lamin Bangura, Makoya Pokonte, Salimatu Kamara, Lieutenant Konea Kanu, and others, summary execution and extrajudicial killings. The same SLPP advised us then. They use divide and rule strategies between Strasser and a best party when I tell Bullspring, when Solomon Anthony James Musa, we been be the deputy chairman of the MPRC. Ladies and gentlemen, they say that man they anxious for power. If his Strasser no pull out, he go overthrow Strasser, then set fire within Strasser. Ladies and gentlemen, for no more, let them replace her with Bio. Only for get rid of Strasser. So after Strasser don't agree, ladies and gentlemen, for return Sierra Leone to a civilian democratic rules, the election process then we are ongoing. The SLPP elders then inside the MPRC military officers then including the Picuna Paupabio for overthrow Captain Valentine S. Gravo Melvin Strasser. So in the middle of the election process, Bio overthrew Captain Valentine S. Gravo Melvin Strasser through a palace coup. Ladies and gentlemen, so on July 5, 1994, the deputy MPRC chairman, Winner Solomon Anthony James Musa, they arrested and sent her into exile in Guinea. So on the 16th January 1996, after 4 years in power, Strasser was arrested by Ion bodyguard in a coup palace led by Paupabio and backed by the MPRC high-ranking officers and the SLPPLs. So Strasser then bundled her inside a helicopter and flown her into Guinea in exile. Paupabio, ladies and gentlemen, stated categorically clear in a radio broadcast him prefer for betray in boss when Strasser than for betray Sierra Leone. And he promised for return Sierra Leone into a democratic civilian role. Bio quickly went into the bush for call Imbralo for Leikanaton when a corporal for the Sebana Sanko. Ladies and gentlemen, Bio come back and appoint him brother after he don't overthrow as logistic officer when a Steve Bio we been they go na Ukraine for go by ammunition and military combats them for the one of Sierra Leone. When I guess waiting for Pabio and his brother Steve Bio been they do the same weapon, the same combat where them in the give to the Sierra Leone army. Now the same combat, now the same weapon them in the give to them bralo when I corpora for the Seba na Sanko. Now it make the war be difficult. Rebel not be no, wouldn't a soldier back not be the understand, wouldn't a rebel. The same Bio family then can they exploit Sierra Leoneans for pay for a gunboat and helicopter spare parts there. Now we consolidated revenue fund at the Republic of Sierra Leone, then deposit the cash na P-Banga, na Channel Island. The same Paupabio connived with Dr. Cherno Abbas Bundu for sale with Sierra Leone passports to foreigners. The same Paupabio, ladies and gentlemen, na in been waiting and call with Captain Valentine Strasser, and after they don't agree, say they for conduct the elections in 1996, he can overthrow Strasser, and MAADA can launch in campaign when a peace before election, where resulted to the Bintimani conference too. This now the role played by the Bio family in the Revolutionary United Front, Mrs. Sankoni Bio, Paupa Bio, and his late brother, Wenasti Bio. Nasty Bio don't die. Agnes Sankoni Bio don't die. Then Bralo, when a corpora fudi Sebana Sanko don't die. But we still stay in the struggles. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leone and communists all both home and the diaspora. But you see, some of we can like forgive factual evidence, we can like forgive real evidence, we know the guess. Where we they talk about Sierra Leone, where we they talk about the political history, where they come with evidence there for let people they understand about what we they talk. When I listen after the election, what they may do in 1996, when they cut people their hand, cut people their limbs there, they say short live and short hand for let people they no vote no more. But I be connive with him, bralo within a bush, when I corpora for the Sebana Sanko. When I listen, waiting Kabago talk at the United Nations about the 1996 general elections.
In January 1996, in the middle of the preparations for the elections, Brigadier MAADA Bio forced Captain Valentine Strasser out of office as chairman of the MPRC and immediately launched a campaign to postpone the elections. The banner of that campaign was peace before elections. A national consultative conference comprising representatives of political parties, the army, the police, trade unions, women's organizations, the churches and mosques, and other organizations of civil society was convened in February 1996 to pronounce on the matter. I should add that in attendance were also representatives of the international community. The overwhelming majority of the delegates to the conference supported the holding of the elections. Incidentally, the Revolutionary United Front was invited to participate in the democratic process, clearly illustrating its attitude towards legitimate democratic principles and procedures. The RUF categorically refused to honor the said invitation. And so,
ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean comrades all both home and the diaspora, when I don't get them from the horse's mouth about what happened in the 1996 election before we get the Bintimani conference too. Now, Lobby Canto build and the MPRC2 and the second Bintimani conference. The Bintimani 2 conference being comprised of CSO, the Sierra Leone Council of Churches, Students' Union, Paramount Chiefs, political party representative, national stakeholders, and we international moral guarantors for discourse on the peace before election or election before peace. Ladies and gentlemen, this then called the second National Consultative Conference on the Electoral Process, Bintimani Conference Center, 12 February 1996. Sponsored by the BONPRC2 regime, according to the INEC boss. The purpose of the conference, when Dr. James Jonah, now for review the question of the date of the election, where they be agreed by Captain Valentine S. Gravo Melvin Strasser, the chairman of the MPRC1 in August 1995. Will be interrupted by overthrowing boss on the 16th January 1996 for the presidential and parliamentary election will for be held on the 26th February 1996, ladies and gentlemen. The question was whether the people they want for maintain the election date on the 26th February 1996 or not. In view of the peace overtures by Fudi Sibana Sankor, no other issue we are to be discussed. The chairperson of the conference, when Mrs. Charlie Bujama, he opened the conference on a peace before election or election before peace. The chairman of INEC, when Dr. James Jonah, he tell the delegates say they're ready for conduct the election on February 26, 1996, but then they listen to the people of Sierra Leone. The NPRC2 chairman, Wena Paupabio, say, he stressed, while the government is still committed to the democratic process, it will be foolhardy for ignore the peace move initiated by Corporal Fudi Sebana Sanko at the first stage. He recommends, the election therefore be postponed so that the government will actively pursue the peace process with Corporal Fudi Sebana Sanko. Professor H.B.S. Sanko, when the commissioner in charge of registration, he give detail of the whole exercise, including the difficulties I neck them in the face. The chairperson announced at the end the final policy statement, when at the result of the view expressed, the BO and the military say, if they say they go conduct the elections, they held that on February 26, 1996, the army no go guarantee security to the people of Sierra Leone on that day, ladies and gentlemen. So the meeting go on the Bintimani conference second. The summary of the results then they as follow. The one the way supposed to get election on the 26th February 1996 now 57. The one the way say peace before election now 14. The neutral statement now 3. No objection to the overwhelming voice of the majority. The conference reached a consensus, thereby they authorized INEC for go ahead with the plans there for the election on the 26th February 1996. BO failed on this campaign, peace before election, only for hold on to power. At that time, the chairperson for the National Commission for Democracy, now been Dr. Kadis Sise. where in the 2012 election are the running mate and vice presidential candidate to Paupa Bio under the ticket of the same SLPP. Bio tried for disrupt the 1996 general election and tell the army and Ibra law when I fully say Sanko for introduce court hand when a short sleeve and long sleeve against civilians then. He say because now when civilians they get hand, I make them say that they go vote. They can then introduce court hand, short sleeve and long sleeve. But the people of Sierra Leone resolved for vote because they don't fed up with the MPRC John Takaki rule. The elections were won by Dr. John Kerfasmat of the UNPP, when a United National People's Party, where in symbol na and lamp. The OB wore a special green. He manipulated the elections there in favor of SLPP Ahmad Tijan Kaba and forced him for handover power to civilian rule. That from MAADA Bio to President Kaba on the 29 March 1996. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean comrades all both home and the diaspora. So the people that really boast today for democracy, now be over pressure, they be deeper yesterday. The people of Sierra Leone bounce. The people of Sierra Leone go now the Bintimani conference too. Then vote, then say they want election before peace. Why be open a try for launch, peace before election, just for let it maintain their power. But when the people ready for the democracy, the people they able to get the democracy, even they go to the extent, the man will win elections, when a Dr. John Kerfasmat, he get for thief the winning of John Kerfasmat, he get to Tijan Kaba, when at the SLPP, he prefer for let the SLPP can have power than a neutral political party for hold on to power. And we've been there as chairman for the MPRC2 and head of state. He been wear a special green. And that green we been wear now for manipulate the elections in favor of the SLPP in 1996. Fellow Sierra Leoneans who can lack for talk with evidence when I get them from the horse's mouth. So, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, when I don't get time from the horse's mouth, say when we do with presentation, we deal with factual evidence, ladies and gentlemen, so that nobody no go say, now this, fellow Sierra Leoneans, now this may happen to the Bintimani conference, when a Bintimani too, for the people of Sierra Leone, not being stand, the people of Sierra Leone, not being Tawa, fellow Sierra Leoneans, will not forget that 1996 election because Paupa Bio be maintain and get a grip on power. How long will they for make peace with Imbra law? That time they still it will continue for dinner power. 90 people they say no. That February 26, 1996, will be all on schedule, say them for make election, therefore make that election stay. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean communists all both home and the diaspora. So this night happened day before yesterday, and this night happened yesterday under the same person where they rule with today. We don't destroy this country. We don't retrogress this country. We don't send we backward, ladies and gentlemen. Now the Republic of Sierra Leone, ladies and gentlemen. Why Sierra Leoneans they sit down? Due to political party loyalty. When one green person, they destroy this country. When young people themselves, except now the political party where they then they condemn the man, say the man like violence, the man like boss, the man like thuggery, ladies and gentlemen. When I get them from the interview, with the interviewer, with a late journalist, we know the in salon right now, when I Samuel Wise Bangura, when I listen to the interview.
Now, when we started this interview, I asked, who is retired Brigadier Julius MAADA? And your response was, a peaceful civilian, senior citizen of Sierra Leone. That was contrary to many allegations from some of your colleagues intending to fight for the flag bearership of your party. I will name those that we've spoken to officially in this forum. When we spoke to Franklin Rogers, he said MAADA lacks the potential to win the next flag bearership of the party. When we spoke to John Oponjo Benjamin, he said MAADA is a violent person and he has never condemned violence in the open. When we spoke to a former member of the SLP who is now with the APC, Robin Fale, who was considered to be a very close ally to you, he said retired Brigadier Julius MAADA is the founding father of political intimidation, with all these different adjectives being used against your personality. Are you really that violent type?
I've always challenged anybody who says I'm violent to cite an instance from my school days to this point that I'm sitting here. Just cite an instance. It is easy to say you are violent.
So, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, now we get another statement. The man will say, rig election, they lead to war. Now, you can rig the election of the people of Sierra Leone today. It means he wants to raise Sierra Leone to another war. But thank God, we get somebody, when a Democrat, when a patriotic citizen, when a nationalistic citizen, when a Dr. Samura Kamara, we not use bullet for bullet, but he use a peaceful means for let Sierra Leone not go into war. Now listen.
For the sake of peace, if we have a rigged election, I will not accept it for the same sake of peace. So because rigged elections leads to war.
So that means, so are you saying that, people will go on the street or go out on the street?
That is for you to tell. I'm not going to tell anybody to go on the street, but they have the right to protect their votes. We will resist anything that is violent. We will resist any attempt by NEC to lead a process that is not going to be clean. I will tell you for sure that we are going to remain as peaceful as we can. We are going to take part in the process. We will just not accept a real.
Well, going back to your earlier statement, so are you then saying that we should anticipate Sierra Leone going back to war if you do not win?
Are you anticipating that they are going to rig an election? Are you encouraging them to do that?
Based on the statements, because we are looking at a situation where political tension is what, and for the sake of peace, we would not want to see issues
if they rig this election without me saying anything, this country is going to.
What are appropriate measures to take? Because the point here is a lot of people are.
Take notes.
Okay.
During the election, let everybody see that the process
is ready to send our country back to another war.
Accept it. That is all. That is the only prescription.
Like they did in the past.
Let's be involved in the
election.
Take note. Be violent on election day. Let there be no manipulation of the commission. Let's give them the independence that they deserve. So
let us give them the independence that they should deserve. Today, ECSL independence, not really manipulate ECSL, stop there for letting not produce result. So what he do, he empty always state coffers there and take the government vehicles there with him to Ghana with 18 million United States dollars of ilmenite. But also in the MPRC too, now the same Papa Bio appoint Dr. Kande Kole Yomekela, the basic of Sierra Leone politics under the National Grand Coalition, NGC, as the Minister of Trade during the MPRC days. We conspire with Bio for sell we only oil refinery will get alone. This is not the man today where they promise Sierra Leoneans, they say, in a way war on corruption, lawlessness, recklessness, and close all the leakages. This is now how Papa Bio with the MPRC2 and the Bintimani 2 conference been do yesterday na Mama Salon. So Bio today and the ECSL Ayampi boss winner Mohamed Humamu Ikone. Mohamed Humamu Ikone na a former worker of the African Development Bank winner ADB. Later, he served in the Sierra Leone Anti-Corruption Commission. Mohamed Kone then born in 1976. They employ him by Paupa Bio na State House as the director for the Financial Intelligence Unit FIU when he gets in presidency in the 2018 general election through the Munku politics of former President KOROMA in a regime change. Ladies and gentlemen, now that State House now they then prepare Mohamed Humamu Ikone for Lutwi elections of the June 24, 2023 election in favor of Impe Master winner Paupa Bio. From the Financial Intelligence Unit, Kone they appoint by Paupa Bio as the Chief Electoral Commissioner for Sierra Leone. Kone not be resigned for 1 year before taking the appointment. The foundation for chief election and chief votes there by Paupa Bio tyrannically for bulldoze in 1991 constitution now for impose Mohamed Humamu Ikone on the people of Sierra Leone as ECSL commissioner for chief election. Bio bastardized section 76 subsection 1 paragraph B we talk about the disqualification of members of parliament. They say no person shall be qualified for election as member of parliament B if he is a member of any commission established under this constitution or a member of the armed forces of the Republic of Sierra Leone or an employee of a public corporation established by an act of parliament or has been shot a member, officer or employee within 12 months prior to the date on which he seeks to be elected to parliament. SLPP used this section for remove APC elected MPs then by the Paupa Judiciary, headed by Justice Komba Kamanda and Justice Alhaji Momoja Stevens. They not call for a rerun or a by-election, which they do, then replace them with the SLPP rejected MP candidates. Ladies and gentlemen, this only happened under MAADA PO in pocketed judiciary in the Republic of Sierra Leone for giving court MPs there in the political history of Mama Salon. Now MAADA PO don't set the record in Sierra Leone. SLPP been get 49 MP seats. The APC gets 68 MP seats. SLPP when a minority in a parliament, then take the speaker position and give you an imposed speaker of parliament, beat APC honorables them, boots them out of parliament like common criminals, ladies and gentlemen, and impose Dr. Cherno Abbas Bundu as speaker, ladies and gentlemen. Now let me talk about the Electoral Commission. When a section 32 subsection 4A, they say a person shall not be qualified. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean comrades all both home and the diaspora. A, for appointment as a member of the Electoral Commission if he is not qualified to be elected as a member of parliament. Mohamed Humamu Ikone, when I've been director for FIU Financial Intelligence Unit Office of the President, where they appointed as Chief Electoral Commissioner, Kone not been qualified for be appointed as Chief Electoral Commissioner. While the leader for the People's Movement for Democratic Change will also double as a constitutional lawyer when Mr. Charles Francis Kondo Magai, when a constitutional lawyer, he challenged the incompetence of Mohamed Humamu Ikone at the Paupa Supreme Court of Sierra Leone. Ladies and gentlemen, now what happened? The molester, the intimidator by the Supreme Court judges then, the matter was swept under the carpet by the Chief Justice then, will be also double as the President of the Supreme Court, winner Justice Babatunde Edwards. So the foundation set by BO for the conduct of the June 24, 2023 multi-tier elections, we are flawed, undemocratic, unconstitutional, fraudulent, and treasonous. Secondly, BO came and pronounced a flawed and unprecedented midterm census by bribing the Statistician General, winner Professor Malam O, with a national civil registration by the NCRA Commissioner, winner Mohamed Massakoy, Both Mohammed Massakoy, Kone, and Professor Malam O, they all gang up together for delete over 250,000 names of voters from the voters register from the northwest strongholds of the All People's Congress Party. Kone assured the people of Sierra Leone, say, they can do the bandit delimitation, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans. When they protest in August 10 for the living condition, the high cost of living in Mamasa alone, ladies and gentlemen, waiting for Pabio do and in Kamajo in John Tade, in Paupa soldiers, they can massacre innocent citizens then. Na freedom, ladies and gentlemen, waiting happy now. Mohammed Humami Kone tweets say, because of August 10, it disrupts them. So they're not going to continue with the bandit delimitation. Therefore, he has been directed by the president, Wena Paupabio, for conduct the June 24, 2023 multi-tier election on a manner known as a district block system or a proportional representation system. When that time day, we get existing constituencies, we get existing honorable members of parliament who will represent the constituencies in the parliament, when they collect salaries from a consolidated revenue fund. Ladies and gentlemen, that time day, there was no way with constitution and with 2012 Public Elections Act, it not be favored for any conduct of a proportional representation system. Ladies and gentlemen, but only the people where they be one for try for fraud the electoral process. They begin take the elections, where elections not even begin yet. Ladies and gentlemen, this was challenged now the Pauper Supreme Court by one of the architects of the Sierra Leone 1991 Constitution, when late Dr. Abdoulaye Conte may so rest in peace. The Pauper Supreme Court, headed by Justice Babatunde Edwards, they rule in favor of the SLPP, say the constituency-based system when first past the post and the PR system when the district block system and say an alternative way for conduct with public elections na mamas alone. Then they back don't be a dangerous judicial precedent in the political history of mamas alone. This is the way how the judiciary under Pauper Bio, they fear the political war in Sierra Leone. Less than a year to election, the SLPP come with the 2022 Public Elections Act, where they also bastardize. The OUs in John Takamajo and in Paupa Soja with in presidential guards there for massacre citizens then at Tonkolimba, na Kamakuye, na Mashaka, na Ma 91, na Mashengbe, na Lonshar, na Tombo, na Lomley, na the Peninsula, August 10, September 11, Makene Generator Massacre, ladies and gentlemen. The Panemba Road Prison, Paupa, orchestrated massacre. The APC National Headquarters massacre, the November 26 failed coup massacre. At the end of the day, when they can conduct election, counting with the ongoing of the provinces, Humamu Ikone declared Paupabio as president. Ladies and gentlemen, today, 2 years down the lane, no election result. Now what do we see? Now burning of the ECSL office system, burning of the 34 military hospital, with State House where they established in 1895 for the first time for see fire, the Freetown Cotton Tree, when at the heart of Freetown, then burn them, with they see hunger, starvation, poverty, high taxes, blackout, high transportation, high cost of fuel, rice and basic commodity in the market, inflation, economic hardship, they cause disaster where they kill we young man them, money laundering, double dipping, forging of hotel ticket, drug trafficking, child trafficking, human body parts trafficking, ammunition trafficking, police brutality, military high-handedness, ladies and gentlemen, they call them fakers. Ladies and gentlemen, for Elunge Bridge, 15 factories there for Poloko District, $40 billion for Mafoki and Marampa, ladies and gentlemen. Then can they squander the money that we meant for the Malili energy day to day. Then promise we a diagnostic and therapeutic hospital. Then squander $34 million we meant for Toma Bomrais project. $67 million from IMF for construct roads in our country. We lost again $480 million from the MCC Compact. They can squander trillions of leons from the 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022 to the 2023 Auditor General's report. Ladies and gentlemen, destroy with forest and the Northwest on timber logging, loot with election, and hold the people of Sierra Leone to ransom and hostage. Pauper Bio. Now, this year, ECSL Mohamed Konewi Kone do today to the people of Sierra Leone in the political history of Mama Salone. Wherefore allow a single individual or two people there for come together for destroy we country in the name of supporting them political party within the SLPP. So, ladies and gentlemen, during the Bintimani conference too, or the Bintimani 2 conference, the former interim electoral commissioner INEC boss, when Dr. James Jonah, he say a friend asked him, say why it passes for staying in Sierra Leone in the face of all the danger they are. Waiting Dr. James Jonah say, he say, I will give my answer to that now. This beautiful country of ours has become so rotten to the core with the corruption, with power seekers, with liars, that I believe perhaps we need a sacrificial lamb to cleanse this nation of ours. As a student of history, I know that the blood of the martyr is the seed of the church. So please don't weep for me. Weep for Sierra Leone. I have said, wake up, Sierra Leone. Wake up. This is our country. No one should frighten you. You must be ready to give up your life so that this country can start moving once again. I have placed my faith in the people of this country. I believe there is a reservoir of goodwill. I have to tap the reservoir above my faith in the people. I know that we all, Muslim and Christian, put our trust in God. Therefore, I say to you, have faith in God, have faith in God. Now they sing come out. Have faith in God. Have faith in God. Wonderful things will happen to you if you have faith in God. Now I want to appeal to all of you to calmly and quietly listen to our head of state, because what he has to say will help you to put on or to make up your mind